Hey, what's going on, Clipper people? It is me, William the Opinion Updike.
And I am positive Chuck Mockler.
And today we're going to be talking about Amir Coffey finally becoming a full-time Clipper. He will be eligible for playoff play, so we got to talk about that. Also, there's some updates on Paul George's return timeline. We're going to talk about that. And then every single Monday, we bring you the Luke Kennard progress report, as well as Terrence Mann's VORP watch. We just like to take a look at Terrence Mann and see where he ranks against a league average replacement player. So all that and more coming up right about now.
You are Locked On Clippers, your daily Los Angeles Clippers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome to Locked On Clips. We got to give a shout out to Bet Online. Today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online. They have you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. Bet Online, where the game starts. Okay, Will, what do we start with here? Do we start with Paul George practicing in full with some scuttlebutt, or do we just welcome Amir Coffey for the 50th time, but for the most legitimate time, to the Clippers?
Let's do Amir Coffey, because this has to be some of the best Clippers news we've gotten in a season with not a lot of good news.
Yeah, you posed this right before we started recording, and I think maybe other than the Norm and Rocco trade, this is the best news of the Clippers season for sure. Will's cracking a cold one to this.
It's a LaCroix.
Sure. Hey, whatever, man. No, so on Saturday, the Clippers converted Amir to a standard NBA contract. To make room for this, Semi Ojeleye was waived, and then Xavier Moon is going to fill Coffey's place with the two-way, which we'll talk about in a sec. The Clippers will also have full bird rights for Amir Coffey. This is very exciting, and congrats to Amir, who, if you've watched the Clippers enough, you got to know that Amir Coffey has answered the bell every single time it's been rung for him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And not just has he answered it, he's been able to develop this year in a season where, we've talked about that's really the whole idea of what this season can really be as a positive contribution
around
to
Christmas.
This thing of what the Clippers can be, especially, we likely know Kawhi and, now know Paul George for the majority of the season, being able to get a guy like Coffey, who was already on the fringe, right?
He was a two-way guy.
He was on the fringe of being like a rotation piece, though, right?
Right. Good call.
And to be able to make that jump into an actual rotation piece, that's just monumental. We talked about last week, sort of extending the window for this Clippers sort of championship window, and this is kind of one of those pieces.
100%. And he did not have the best pre-start to the season after the summer league.
You and I were both very down on
it was a rough go
into the season.
It was a rough go. He turned all the way around. Just a consummate professional. Shout out the Coffey family. Just a team of professional basketball players. Sister Nia too.
Absolutely.
Shout out Amir Coffey. Moving on to the Paul George practicing stuff. So Paul George is just practicing basketball.
The handles? You see the handles?
Okay, has it been too long since I've seen Paul George handle a basketball? But that clip that Jamal Christopher posted, I was like, this looks like a new move or something.
Yeah.
It looked looked like the ball was a little on more of a string in a good way. Some good stuff.
Less turnovers?
I'm already, incoming. So, look, ready to go pregame versus the 76ers. He looked great. There's also been some scuttlebutt.
Okay.
That there's a supposed surprise coming with the Tuesday lineup. That's all we know. That's the only scuttlebutt we know.
The surprise is everyone's going to wear a little hat.
They're bringing back Oturu. Things are going all downhill. Dude, everyone wearing a little hat. I'm not mad at that.
You're not going to be expecting that.
Yeah. So also, this poses some questions. We're all very happy that Paul George is back. There should be a Haynes report on this Tuesday night game. But would we really need that report if there's the biggest lineup surprise we could possibly have?
Ah, man.
Wait. All right. So we're all hyped on Paul George. Are you even looking forward to a Chris Haynes report after the nothing that we've gotten throughout this season?
No, I feel like at this point I feel trained.
You're numb.
I feel trained to expect nothing.
That's totally fair, I think.
And we've talked about the most
I think I'm hooked back in, man.
We've just talked about though too, I'm not shutting the door on the return by any means. I'm saying the most Clippers way to handle this would be not even giving Haynes something.
Oh yeah, he's just
Paul
there.
George is just questionable on the injury report and then plays.
So the injury report will come out 5 p.m. the day you're listening to this.
Yeah.
We will definitely report on it. We'll have a locked on now if Paul George is up to questionable, or if he's maybe not even on the damn report. That would be pretty cool. Do you have any expectations?
Absolutely not.
None? Man, I feel like an idiot because I think my hopes are getting back up.
Oh man,
I'm ready to get hurt again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know that you're setting yourself up for a positive interaction, but hey, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe only the Clippers. They might not even know. And then in good vibes news, we touched on it just a second ago. Xavier Moon signed to a two-way. Some pretty nice numbers down in the G League. Just under 19 points. Just under 7 boards. I don't think that will translate over to the NBA. And then 4.5 assists. Shot 38% from 3. You like to see it. He's going to spend the final 15 days of the season under contract.
I like that.
Yeah. That's a good call.
It just gives him it gives him the minimum number of days that he needs to become a restricted free agent.
Yes. Super smart.
And yeah, I think that it bodes well for him if he is able to find a landing spot somewhere.
Yes. And if the Clippers would have waited for this, he wouldn't have been restricted. And most importantly, Reggie gets his best vibes guy back. He's on record saying that Xavier Moon is his favorite vibes guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. My tinfoil hat is on.
Okay.
It's snug. It's just a $59.50 day. Nothing crazy. Got a classy tinfoil hat. I could wear this to a dinner.
A Tinty9 Tinty.
Yes. Damn it. So look, we see Paul George practicing for the first time since Christmas.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we're signing Amir for the playoffs. We're getting Ojale off the team.
You don't think this has
bringing the vibes guy
You don't
back?
think this has to do with the final amount of days for Xavier Moon to become a restricted free agent?
What are days?
What are days?
What are days? No, I can see where all your I can understand not having hope. I can fully understand that. But I'm not on that train.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And no one else, I'm not asking anyone else to get on this train. I'm a very rude conductor. I hope to do as little.
You're that weird front car in Snowpiercer.
I hope to have as little passengers as possible.
Sure,
that's a good call. Makes my day a little easier.
The ultimate cranky conductor thing. Let us know what your hope is at. I have noticed the Clippers have been very active with news drops on days when there's no basketball.
Yes,
which I appreciate. From a producing a daily podcast perspective.
A tip of the Tinty9 Tinty to you.
Tip of the Tinty9 Tinty. We got to get a pick of Ballmer in the tinfoil hat for sure. Let us know at Locked On Clips how hyped you are and if you would take Will's weird train. Coming up, we're talking the Luke Kennard progress report. Getting a whole segment now because we got some interesting questions to pose, but nothing but love for Luke. But first, Will, if I wanted to eat some kind of bar so I could build my body up, what bar?
You got to check out Built Bar. If you listen to this podcast, you hear us talk about Built Bar all the time. You probably already know it's the best tasting protein bar on the market. But what you might not know is that Built Bar has so many delicious flavors.
Mm-hmm.
There's truly something for everyone. It's really cool. When you talk to another Built Bar fan, they're definitely passionate about their faves. That's what happened, with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Built Bar altercation.
That was the argument.
Anyways, if you don't know the Built Bar flavors, you're missing out. They got coconut, cherry, barcia, raspberry, mint, brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, strawberry, orange, cookies and cream, and German chocolate. Ooh, yummy. You want to know what my favorite flavor is? I can never decide.
Classic.
Which, luckily, Built Bar has you covered. You can get a mix box where you'll get 2 of each of the 9 flavors. Look, not only are Built Bar flavors the best tasting, but they're healthy too. Check out these macros. Each bar has 17 to 18 grams of protein, calories ranging from 130 to 180, only 4 to 5 grams sugar, and only 4 to 5 grams net carbs. Amazing flavors, all tasty, all healthy. And right now, you can get a very special offer. If you go to built.com and use promo code LOCKEDON, you'll get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKEDON for 15% off at built.com.
All right, welcome to the Luke Kennard progress report. Shout out
Hey,
Luke
Luke.
Kennard. Hey, what's up, Luke? So we do this every week just to talk Luke Kennard's progress. It started kind of from when there was a really bad 3-guard lineup being run by Ty Lue involving Reggie, Lou, and Luke. We want to know what was going to happen with Luke Kennard. But since the last Luke Kennard progress report, these have been a little rough lately.
Yeah.
Not for some of it is Luke's fault. Most of it is a situation we'll talk about coming up. Since the last Luke Kennard progress report, 8 points, 1 board, 1 assist versus Denver, 3 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 6 from 3 for, again, 8 points. He was -1 versus Philly, 1 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 3 from 3, 6 points. He was -8. Not ideal numbers.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
A really cool thing happened. Him and Hartenstein went out after the game versus 76ers to get extra shots up. which is cool. And Hart was just feeding him passes, not even taking shots, just there to support his buddy. Got to give a shout out to Hart.
I have to say one thing, and this is a segue. I apologize, Luke Kennard, but we have been kind of up and down on Hartenstein, and I think kind of like more down. But one thing that has stayed consistent since the time that he was fighting for a roster spot on this team is that like he does seem to be a great locker room guy,
elite teammate,
a great teammate.
Yes.
But anyways, going back to Luke Kennard, I mean, what I still love is versus Denver, like he did still get up 6 attempts from 3.
Absolutely.
And I would much rather live with 2 of 6 than just having him have like 3 3-point attempts as he did in that game versus Philly. Like that to me is like a little bit more of a letdown. And once again, that's not his fault. That's part of the play calling. It depends on how he's getting gamed out by another defense.
To be fair, it is his fault.
If he's being passive with the ball, totally.
Like 70-30 the other team, Luke, is usually how I see it.
Yeah, it can definitely be an issue with him. Look, I don't know. I posed this the last time we had kind of talked about Luke, and I'm just wondering because the knee tendonitis thing has been a factor throughout various stages of his career.
Yeah.
We have not talked about it since he's been tenured on the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
He is not in a lead guard capacity, right?
Sure.
So, like maybe you hope that helps with some of those issues, but they're never going to go away.
Yeah.
And I wonder if some of what we're seeing is just like his increased usage of this year is starting to catch up with that lower body. And that's why we're seeing like in that game, was that versus Denver where he didn't even hit backboard?
Yeah.
Like I cannot think of the last time I saw Luke Kennard miss a shot that bad.
Yeah, that's a very good call. I wonder if it's nagging. I wonder if he maybe doesn't want it to become a thing too, which I'm kind of perfectly okay with.
Yeah.
Like just keep staying healthy. In terms of scouting, because, Hart talked about how Luke's getting blitzed off screens more. If you just watch the Clippers, you can see that too. They're just putting a big body on on Luke. In terms of this current version of the Clippers, Luke is the third guy on the other team's scouting report? It probably goes Reggie, Morris, Luke would be my guess.
Offensively, I would say he's got to be up there, yeah.
He gives the most. He helps Terrence Mann operate. He helps every one of these guys who gets paint touches operate. So I think he's just become much more of a factor on other teams' radar, which is a sign of respect, but kind of sucks for the Clippers.
I mean, we talked about the same thing with Terrence this season, right? Like, he had a little bit of a pass last season from some NBA defenses that he wouldn't get this year.
Yeah.
I do think that we're seeing a similar thing on Luke. That is all understandable,
because when
he just can't let it affect him from an aggressiveness perspective.
Love it.
Because once again, fine with the shot not going in. Like that's 100%
But just
fine.
huck it up there, man.
Gotta just be getting them up there.
I think we've seen this quote from multiple Clippers and Ty Lue this year of like, if he shoots it, we all think it's going in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we saw what happened. I mean, that 4-point play against the Wizards is probably what somehow made other teams realize that you need to guard Luke Kennard for some reason. But you look at when the Clippers are really rolling, you look at Luke's stats and his usage.
Oh, yeah.
It's more, he's getting, and I just mean shot attempts. Even.
Yeah.
But it's been a tough stretch for Luke. We all know what he can do. It should get us a lot more, it should get us excited for what happens when someone returns for the Clips to open up spacing. And while it has been a bit of a tough go for Luke Kennard, let's pick a game for Luke Kennard to go off to close this season with the one caveat, it can't be the last one versus the Thunder.
Can it be the Kings?
Yes. So we're going to go Jazz, Bulls, Bucks, Pels, Suns, Kings, Bulls, Bucks, back-to-back. Will, which game do you think Luke Kennard is going to go off in? We're due for a big Luke game.
So I think I'm looking at the bookends really of
that is fair.
Of these games. And I do think like something could happen versus the Jazz. If we could get something going against that second unit, I feel like it lacks some of the size to be able to defend multiple positions and keep a larger defender on Luke. And then also the Kings. I just think that
why not?
I think, why not, right? But I'm right there with you. I hope that in one of these 6 games, he has a performance that'll kind of just pad the stat sheet a little bit for
confidence.
For confidence in like kind of where he ends this season, because he has really taken such a big jump for what he's been with this Clippers team so far.
Yes.
So it would be a shame to see that kind of like bit of a down tick that we've seen since the All-Star break continue to the end of the season. It's also just looking at this team going into a play-in, like that is just not the momentum you want to have.
We don't need that momentum
with any player on the roster, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go the Bucks.
Ooh, okay.
Here's why. We get the Bucks the second night of a back-to-back on their third game in 4 nights.
So we're both playing in the second night of a back-to-back.
Yes.
They're on the
they're
on the third of a 3 and 4 or the fourth?
The third, sorry, they're on the third of a 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I think it's gonna be the Bucks. Other than I don't really have any, strategy other than the fact that they're just gonna be tired. We're gonna be tired too.
Yeah.
The Bulls are a little struggling right now. I just hope it comes in the middle of this run because it'd be nice to get kind of a random peak of inspiration.
What about this?
What you got?
He bookends them, like I said.
And then versus the Thunder, of course, he's going to have 28 points. Who knows? I just want one good game from Luke. We know it's there. And also what's our definition of a good game from Luke at this point? If he goes like 5 of 6 from 3, 4 of 6 from 3, I'm counting that.
Oh, 100%.
With this
100%.
current roster, unless someone comes back.
No, 100%. And then like that, I mean, 4 of 6 from 3. I mean, that's huge
what we need,
boost to this offense. And that's sort of what's been able to make this second unit work. So some level of competency there. I mean, if you can get that plus your starters just perform average,
just normal,
you're getting close to a dub.
Yeah, that's a good call. Let us know what you think over on Locked On Clips when you think Luke is going to go off again. Coming up, we are going to be talking TMann Vorp Watch and then a fantastic interview over on 213 Hoops. We have to give a shout out to Top Shot, the officially licensed NFT of the NBA. Connect with a community of hundreds of thousands of NBA fans as a natural progression of fantasy sports and a way to upgrade your experience as an NBA fan. This is the future of what being an NBA fan looks like. It's part trading cards. Every moment on Top Shot originates in a pack. Unlike trading cards, though, these aren't still images on cardboard. These are officially licensed NFTs of the greatest moments from NBA history. I have a Serge Ibaka dunk during a game against, I believe, the Pacers. That's my future child's college fund. Right? Investors include Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant, not to mention Will Smith.
Popular man.
Maybe talk
Stocks
to you.
up?
Yes, you better stock up. There are also a lot of NBA players in the community like Tyrese Halliburton, Cole Anthony, and Harrison Barnes. I hear people ask all the time, why would I, buy a highlight when I can just watch for free on YouTube? It's not about watching a highlight. It's about having ownership stake in what's akin to a stock market. It's yours. It's totally your thing. If you sign up for Top Shot today, the best way to start is by getting yourself a starter pack. You can pull an NFT of a superstar like LeBron or KD, or star rookies like Cade Covington or Evan Mobley for $9. We love it. And if you didn't pull your favorite player from a starter pack, you can snag moments on the marketplace that appeal to you. Challenges are the best way to earn exclusive moments, NFT rewards. Complete challenges to unlock exclusive moment NFTs. You can treat Top Shot like the best of daily fantasy sports. Shout out Top Shot. And now that you got your cards figured out, how can you get your car figured out?
You gotta check out rockauto.com. Look, this episode is brought to you by Rock Auto. Hey, it's really hard to find car parts. With the ever-increasing number of makes and models, it's now impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you need. God bless them. But why endure often pointless or seemingly intimidating questioning and wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer, choosing the only brand their warehouse happens to carry? You have computers with access to rockauto.com at home and in your pocket on your mobile device. You can save time and money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30%, 50%, even 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or dealership? Rock Auto is a family business. They've been serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Rock Auto prices are reliably low for every customer, and they have everything you can need, from brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, even new carpet. So go explore their easy-to-use website today to find the solution to your auto parts needs. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. Right Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com.
All right, welcome to TMann Vorp Watch.
Hey.
Which, Will, what is VORP?
It's value over replacement player. It's not a perfect stat.
Okay.
It's, based on per 100 possessions. It's sort of aggregated throughout the season.
Yes.
But hey, it's a nice way to look at a baseline of what statistically a league average replacement player is and see how Terrence Mann stacks up against that.
Yes. It's a bit of a wonky thing, but as always, everyone loves to talk Terrence. Last season, like Will said, this is a cumulative stat. He was at 0.6. As of this recording, he has officially passed that and is now at 0.7.
Woo!
Let's go. Way to go, Terrence Mann's VORP.
I'd like to thank this segment.
Yes.
Really
I'm sure he was like,
a fire under Terrence.
What is my VORP? We tell him one day a week what his VORP is. Since the last Terrence Mann VORP watch versus Denver, 7 of 10 from the floor, 10 of 12 from the line. Had 24, 8, and 4, no turnovers. He was -5 from the floor. I will say, if the Clips had won this game, this would have been maybe his best game of the year.
It was great. And just seeing him get to the line, like 12 free throw attempts for Terrence.
Love it.
That is nasty. And we've seen time and time again, especially more recently since he's been placed in this sort of role on the second unit, him able to get his head down, get to the rim, do the things that make him successful offensively while still contributing that sort of like chaos,
big guard,
sort of herky-jerky energy on the other side. And it's just great to see.
It is. A couple of his other great performances, 19, 10, and 4 plus 3 steals versus the Lakers win on 225, and then 25, 7, and 6 plus 25 versus Golden State on Valentine's Day. Just, you love to see. He's been filling up the stat sheet so well lately. Versus Philly recently, 3 of 7 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the line, 12 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, -7 from the floor. Not, his best, but that was a pretty tough game against Philly.
Yeah. That was not a great matchup stylistically and also just talent disparity wise. I mean, Clippers, they're at where they're at, but hopefully not for much longer.
Hopefully not for much longer. Another thing that we need to talk about Terrence, who is, as we said it before, ending this season perfectly, considering what we're going to get next season with everyone healthy. Terrence has only missed 1 game this year, which
the way that we,
I don't know if I didn't register that, but I was looking at his game log for this segment and I was like, oh, there's only 1 blank space.
It's so difficult because for all the demerits that there are on sort of like some of the injury management stuff and I'm not going to call the training staff necessarily because I don't.
It's a thing with the Clippers.
I don't know the insides of that, but there is something with the Clippers that happens with injuries. But there has also been a thing, and I think this dates back even to the last iteration of the team with Gallo, where at the same time, we are able to take some of these players and get extended runs out of them.
Yeah. No one talks about the good with the medical staff.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
Until, you shouldn't know kind of the head trainer's name, whatever. Also, Jason Powell, isn't the team doctor? He's not.
Yeah.
That's not his thing. I think that's a very good point, though. You look at Zoo, you look at Terrence. I mean, hell, we talked about last segment.
Batum played the most minutes or second most minutes on the team last year.
Look at Luke. Luke hasn't had any real tendonitis stuff.
Yeah, there are some triumphs that do happen.
Great word, yeah.
and I would say that about Terrence and his resiliency and even honestly, I feel like we've talked about, such a big issue with this stretch in as well as execution, just a team looking like it's hit a wall. And I think to see Terrence look like he's able to hit another gear is something that's kind of an encouraging thing that is maybe a little under the radar.
That's a good call. And this is kind of funny to think about. In this version of the Clippers, as of whatever time we're recording this on Sunday evening, Terrence is the 3rd most important Clipper.
3rd or 4th, yeah.
You got Covington ahead of him?
Possibly.
That's what I was going to put ahead of my thing.
Possibly in some closing lineup stuff, but Terrence is neck and neck. Terrence is right there because we can see Terrence in the closing lineup. That's not nothing crazy.
I cannot wait to see full strength Clippers with Terrence in there, just being good chaos.
Yeah.
Just being the good chaos when it can be. Shout out Terrence Mann, a fantastic year. Closing it out, we got to give a shout out to 213 Hoops.
Yeah.
They had old Reggie Jackson on their podcast. That's so awesome. Not only was it a great interview, hats off to Reggie for doing this after a pretty rough, Will just removed his hat in solidarity. Reggie did this after the 76ers loss. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of guys who are going to go on an independent podcast after you get beat like that and be not only just do it, but like a great interview talking about kind of LA fandom and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Man, Reggie Jackson rules.
Yeah.
Everyone on the
Great
Clippers team rules.
Yeah.
Man, it's going to be a good time. Tuesday's episode, preview of Clippers versus Jazz. We will give you a report on what that injury report looks like. Hopefully, a little different than it has been. In a good way. In a good way. I want to reiterate that. Twitter Tuesday, so send your questions into @LockedOnClips. Of course, whatever else happens between now and then in Clipperland, if someone wanted to review us, where could they possibly do that?
So you can do that over on Apple Podcasts or the podcast app on your mobile device. You can also now do it over on Spotify. Hey, we'd love it if you leave a rating or a review over there. Boost the show's number. It really would help us out. You can listen to us on either one of those platforms. You can also listen to us on Google Music. We're on Amazon Music. We're on Stitcher. We're on Deezer.
Oh, yeah.
And probably anywhere else you listen to podcasts. We mentioned it up top. We do convention Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific. Hey, keep rocking with us. There could be something interesting happening soon.
Let's hope so. I have been positive, Chuck Mockler.
And I am William the Opinion Updike. And as always, we appreciate you.